I think one of the reasons it's easy to like someone like Donald Trump is because he upsets the right people, the Hillary Clintons, Kamala Harrises, the Guardianistas, the Ed Davies of the world. If you've forgotten who Ed Davey is, and let's be honest, we all have, he's the leader of the utterly impotent Liberal Democrats, and recently he's been saying that the democracies of the West need to join up to take Trump on.
With Donald Trump as unpredictable as he is, we cannot leave the destiny of the free world in his hands alone. Other democracies must step up.
A rousing speech there, Ed. I'm sure the men of Europe are desperate to join behind you in your war against the United States. But aside from being an absolute prat, Ed Davey's also a bedwetter, the exact sort of person that people across the West are sick and tired of. Soft women and feminised men who want their nice, sweet, soft little liberal world, and they're full of hypocrisy. This is why people like Trump are popular. Now, we have to be careful of this dynamic where the elite is so unbearable it means you start to like the outsider. After all, we don't know if Trump's going to do anything in our favour or not. Judging by Trump's quote crypto ball to celebrate his inauguration, it's not the most auspicious signs we have on display. Trump apparently launched a new crypto coin there, and the audience was serenaded by a bunch of gangster rappers. Here's one called Soulja Boy. Yeah. Next up is Rick Ross. Yeah, that's mesmerising. And next up is Snoop Dogg. Now, in 2016, in one of his music videos, Snoop Dogg pretended to shoot Donald Trump, but apparently he's had a change of heart and now is on side. Now, for some reason unbeknown to me, maybe if you're an American watching, you can let us know down below, Snoop Dogg is seen as a sort of moral authority in America. He's involved in absolutely everything. However, if you ask me, he only ever had a couple of catchy songs along with Dr. Dre in the 90s about being a gangster, so ultimately they're degenerate, and one good song called Murder Was the Case. That song was about selling your soul to the owners of record labels behind gangster rap and hip-hop, although you're not allowed to talk about who they are. Yet as strange as it may well sound, these gangster rap pop stars are now a cultural coordinate for who's accepted into the mainstream of American culture. So we can see then, with regards to Trump, there's been a major cultural shift from 2016 to now, where he's seemingly been accepted by the mainstream. Of course, that started with Elon Musk. Now, apparently Elon Musk turned against the left wing when one of his kids transitioned, and then he realised all about the woke mind virus and became more and more sympathetic to Trump. Obviously, Trump is a big businessman, so it fed in with his ambitions there too. And this is probably the first major indication as to the sort of Donald Trump the world's going to get. I don't think he's going to be the America First protectionist he promised to be in 2016. You can see that how he backed Elon Musk on the H-1B visa issue. Remember, that was all about Indians coming to the States to get software jobs where American workers lose out. Further to that, a lot of people are getting excited about Trump coming in and enacting remigration, but that's only with regard to illegals, which, if I'm honest, doesn't impress me. That should be as standard for a country to deport illegals en masse. When it comes to actual immigration, he's pro bringing more people in. This is probably why establishment globalist liberals such as Bill Gates, who were once sworn enemies of Trump in 2016, are now having 3 hours dinners with him and are, quote, frankly impressed by him. It also explains why we've seen Facebook and Instagram owner Mark Zuckerberg switch from woke tyrant super dork into MMA training tech bro who's pro-Trump all of a sudden. Zuckerberg has also been doing a PR campaign, even going on the Joe Rogan podcast, to talk about how Joe Biden's administration forced him to censor political opinions and forced him to not allow people to have their own opinions on a certain virus which shall not be named. I think Joe Rogan speaks for many of us when he says this.
And then they leave and they go, yeah, but you were just lying to us about this, that, and the other thing. And now I'm supposed to believe you're one of the good guys. You're one of the straight shooters now.
Yeah.
So So this is a very different Trump. Musk, Zuckerberg, Bezos, Gates have all fallen into line and are essentially supporting Trump. But the social media one is the one I think we can learn a lot from. This is especially notable as when Trump is coming into power, TikTok has been banned in the USA as well. Now, I'm not pro TikTok. I think it rots our young people's minds. However, the timing is very interesting. This effectively means that the social media output will be controlled by YouTube, which is famously stringent, and then Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, who are both effectively pro-Trump. Some American political commentators have made the point that the banning of TikTok may well have been due to it being owned by China, therefore outside of American control, and much of the footage on there wasn't what the American powers that be would like to be seen by young people in the West. Make of that what you will. But it seems to me that something has happened here between Donald Trump and the powers that be in the quote land of the free. It could be that the powers that be realise they've pushed the public too far with this leftism, telling them that white people are all pure evil, that they need to be accepting of all sorts of weird sexual preferences, that their youngsters need to have their genitals hacked off. I think you can only yell and scream at people about that for so long, not to mention America has people flooding in from the southern border who tend to be more socially conservative and are never going to buy into that sort of message. It seems they realised the Democrat line wasn't working and became sympathetic to Trump. They said to him, "We'll see you get into power and back you as long as you don't mess with illegal immigration and you don't mess with the American power structure as it exists." After all, for the globalist system, all they need to do is keep pushing mass migration into Western lands for another decade or two. Once they've done that, there will be no mass unified voice that can stand up to them, only a disorganized, chaotic mass of factions drowning in a liberal dystopia. After that, it's just the classic empire tactic of divide and conquer. But what about you? Do you think Donald Trump is the one true saviour, or do you think he's being subsumed into the globalist system like me? Do let me know your thoughts down below. Also, if you're looking for an oasis of sanity in the modern madness, do consider checking out my Substack. I'm trying to build a resource for every area of our lives there, spiritual, personal, political, and so on. Do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new.